my camera's higher than yours because one of us is taller than the other one. I don't want to call any names out here.
They don't know that, though. Welcome back to the #1 financial literacy podcast in the world. This is The Higher Standard. Sitting in front of me with the gray hoodie Higher Standard merch that you can find at thspod.com is Christopher Nahibi.
Almost 6 years later, I figured out the actual algorithm to working with Saied Omar. He can't wear the V-neck, the sweater vest.
Can't. Why?
He can't do it because your temperature has to be ice cold and mine has to be warm.
Right.
So now on a 90-degree day, I find myself
see what you're doing.
in an air-conditioned room with a hoodie on to make you feel at home.
Why is it so hot?
Because you're across from me.
Yeah, let's go.
And all this equipment. Speaking of which, the man across from me is the man, the myth, the legend, the quarter zip king, the one and only Saied Omar.
Thank you, my man. And sit behind the desk in the production suite, if you will, Slim, the fighting Fijian. Rajeel, what's up, my guy?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ben.
Good. How are y'all doing?
Ben.
And if y'all want to get slim like Rajeel and look sexy, you can head over to joinfridays.com. What can they find over there, Chris?
Well, all the stuffs.
Oh, well, I mean, really good stuff.
GLP-1s, longevity medication, including things like NAD+, ceramorelin, tesamorelin, all the fun peptides that are sexy and helpful. Depends on what your goals are. If you want to lose weight, they can do that. If you want longevity, better health, they can do that too. Go to joinfridays.com, use code HIGHER, get $100 off your first order. Helps us, helps you, helps everyone.
All right, man. We got a good episode for everybody today. A lot to get into, a lot of data. And we're going to title the show, Everything is Breaking at Once. Jobs, housing, private credit, and the Fed's dead end.
Are you intentionally growing the beard out a little bit?
You saw that?
Yeah, a little bit of texture there,
You
Chief.
see that?
Yeah, I see
Well,
what
here,
you're doing.
though, it's cleaned up on the sides. Yeah.
Well, this show is being recorded on an unorthodox Friday the 13th. And, not normal for us. Very awkward.
I didn't even recognize
You
that.
didn't? Now you know. So, but it wasn't bad luck for us, unfortunately. It was bad luck for a guy in the White House.
Oh, only one?
Well, I guess technically the entire team there. But, there was a bit of a problem that came down just before we got on the hot mics. Before the Uchi Wally Wally and the Uchi Bang Bang came down and started, we had a bit of a telling story. The Supreme Court rendered yet another compelling decision. And according to the report from CNN, which I have here, federal judge quashes Justice Department subpoenas of Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Now, that in and of itself is not spectacular or surprising. What is surprising is the way they did it. They didn't just say, hey, I don't want to date you. They said,
Right.
I don't want to date you, and you're an ugly bastard.
Yeah. No, right? There's a mountain of evidence that suggests Powell's investigation was to pressure him to lower interest rates. Come on, man. You also know it's not just on him. Like,
There's a mountain of evidence.
mountain
Of evidence that you were trying to get in my pants. Just, wow. Not good. A federal judge has quashed subpoenas the Justice Department had issued against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, who came out defiant in statements that we played on the show. According to the court documents unsealed on Friday today, the ruling is a major blow to President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly criticized Powell for not lowering interest rates, and an embarrassing setback for the D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, who launched the probe. Pirro slammed the opinion in a hastily scheduled news conference Friday, saying she plans to appeal. I bet you do, doll. I bet you do. You're not going to win that, though, of course. U.S. District Judge James Jeb Baseberg. Jeb? When did the last time you heard of Jeb? You know, I challenge both of you.
Is that
Neither one of you knows a Jeb.
Is that one of the Bush brothers?
Yes,
Right?
Jeb Bush.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
I knew that,
You
though.
don't know him.
Oh, come on. I get that.
Name another non-Bush Jeb.
There's the founder of Springfield from The Simpsons.
That's not a real person.
Hold
That's-
on.
that's-
character,
Hold on. I
though,
feel like
Jebediah.
That's not.
bro, that's two. That's it. You
Jebediah,
lost.
right? Is it Jebediah?
Yeah.
The fact
See?
that you know that.
Of course I know that. If you don't know that, you know what? You got a whole DC universe, Marvel universe to get through. I understand. You got problems.
Yeah.
All right, so Jeb here wrote in the new opinion that, as Saied quoted, a mountain of evidence suggested that the government served these subpoenas on the board to pressure its chair into voting for lower interest rates or resigning. There's an interesting and compelling part of this, and there's two parts I want to get into. But before I do that, I want to finish a little bit more of the article because this is some sensational stuff. This is sexy. On the other side of the scale, the government has produced essentially zero evidence, still quoting, by the way, zero evidence to suspect Chair Powell of a crime. Indeed, Its justifications are so thin and unsubstantiated that the court can only conclude that they are pretextual. Jeb came in hot.
Yeah, he's laying it down.
Yeah. The federal probe underscores that Trump's administration's intense pressure campaign against Powell and the Fed in a bid to get the politically independent central bank to lower interest rates. Trump continues to insult Powell on social media, and his administration is currently trying to push out Fed Governor Lisa Cook. Therein lies problem number one.
Right.
If this is the pretextual defense to what should have been a prolongated fight, it sounds like it was summarily shut down. And this same group of people are going to render an opinion on Lisa Cook. Now, there might be some evidence to her mortgage fraud, but do you think it's going to get much farther along or more successful results than this?
I mean, given what she did, though, I mean, the umbrella of fraud. I mean, yeah, I guess technically speaking.
Mortgage fraud. But here's the problem.
Technically speaking.
Fraud is an intent crime. Okay. Not that I'm an attorney or anything, but it's an intent crime.
Yeah.
You can't commit fraud if you didn't know. What do you want to bet she wasn't the one who went to the mortgage applications?
Right. Yeah, because that's not how these people handle it. They're not applying for these loans themselves.
What do you mean by these people, Saied?
The elite.
You people. The elite.
The elite. That's what I meant.
Very well played.
Yeah.
So problem number one right there. Problem number two is if you're Jerome Powell and you came out and viscerally defended this opinion, you were like, I'm going to hold a press conference. I'm going to do it in front of the podium. I'm going to wear my purple tie. I'm going to go out there and lace them up. And he did.
Yeah.
Use their platform to say, no. I will not be pressured. I will stand on my business. You know, he probably
10 toes down.
I mean, I don't want to say this, but he probably watched Training Day before he went out. Right?
Just to get himself riled
Just to get him ready to,
That's
ready
what
to
he
go.
did, yeah.
And he fought it. And then he fought aggressively. White House gone back and forth, a little bickering. But then now you win this. You know your term is supposed to be up in May.
So you think this would something like this make him feel better about maybe stepping away, or now I'm going to even dig my heels down even further and say, I will step down, but I'm still going to remain as a voting member on the board?
Well, now, because there's ongoing litigation and because this might be appealed, you might not get him to step down even when his term is up because it's a subject of ongoing litigation.
Oh, no.
This may have completely backfired on the White House, where if they keep this case up and she does appeal and that appeal is prolongated, this could carry into 2027 with Jerome Powell still in the seat because you haven't decided.
Oh, no.
And you've got to have, because keep in mind, too, the political parties have said, we're not going to vote on, we're not going to confirm Warsh, the incumbent Fed chair, until such time as this whole situation is resolved.
Right.
Independence is important to them. So now, if they're unwilling to do so, then unlike him just being up with his term and leaving,
right,
he could stay. You could wind up backfiring and getting Uncle Jerome.
Yep.
For another year. Can you imagine how pissed off the White House would be about that?
And everything, all the data points right now are all leaning heavy towards, doesn't matter if it's Jerome Powell, doesn't matter if it's Kevin Warsh. There's no way in the world there's going to be a rate cut, right? And you covered it recently on a live that we did. As of right now, on March 18th, which is the next meeting, which will have already passed by the time this episode drops, right? Yeah.
Wednesday.
Oh, no, Wednesday. Sorry. Yeah. It'll be later in the week. I'm thinking that it's
it's Wednesday night.
Yeah. But 99
you wanna hold hands while we do this?
No. 99.4% chance at no rate cut. Now here's the thing. The meeting after that's going to be April 29th, okay? That'll be Uncle Jerome's last meeting, okay? We also had a CPI report that came out earlier this week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, which I have the data points that we can quickly go over because it'll feed into a lot of what we want to talk about. But before that CPI report came out for that last meeting of JP on April 29th, there was an 87% chance of no rate cut. After the CPI report came out, remained the same, 87% chance of no rate cut. The next meeting, as of right now, June, after that, which would be Kevin Warsh's potential first meeting, but we don't know given the whole Lisa Cook situation.
Yep.
Right? CPI, before the CPI report, there was a 60% chance of no rate cut. After that, a 64% chance of no rate cut. So things are not looking good.
Well, plus you got international geopolitical conflict.
And that was it, right? So all what you got out of the CPI report doesn't even take into consideration everything that's going on in the Middle East right now, which we know is going to be spiking energy prices, which
Can I say the quiet
down.
part out loud real quick?
The quiet part? Or the big elephant in the room?
Goddamn denial did people have that first Monday after the war kicked off over the weekend, the market was positive. People were like, oh, it's going to last a couple days. Now they're like, oh, it's going to last a couple weeks. Are we going to wind up being here a year from now going like, it's going to last a couple of years? I mean, is that where we're going?
I mean, it's scary when you start to hear, them floating around the possibility of like, all right, we need troops on the ground, right? Like,
you've never liberated a country. Let me be explicit here. You have never liberated a country in history with just air attacks.
Yeah, and you posted this online, right? You asked, AI for their unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
Is it even possible?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And particularly a country that doesn't have weapons and munitions.
Well, which makes you think like, okay, I mean, there is the possibility that was never part of the agenda, right? It's just what was fed to us for who knows, whatever reason.
We can have this conversation.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a possibility, what was the agenda? You took an 80-something-year-old man.
I still don't know.
The dude was 80-something years old. He was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
You knew going into it that this particular son was a possible candidate of the four. Now, I think the U.S. may have said, okay, you know what? It's not a monarchy. They're not going to name his sons. And I don't think they probably wanted to, but they killed everybody else.
Right.
So you knew it was a possibility, however remote. This particular son is even more of a religious hardliner than his father was, number one. He's in his 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, he just killed his wife, his sister, and his father.
What is that going to do? What is that going to do to because look, at the end of the day, the people out there, right? He had a huge support too. So
did he? I didn't know it.
Yeah, for sure he did. And what is that going to do to everyone else that's still there? That's just going to dig their heels into the ground even further, saying that we want to continue with the regime.
Well, and don't get me wrong here. There's a lot of people in that country who didn't like the West and certainly don't like them more now. Bombs are landing there, whether it's under the auspices of trying to free them or not.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole cohort of people who are like, I don't want to be under attack.
Yeah. And we'll get into later on in the show on how this all trickles down we've discussed on the show of the Strait of Hormuz like being completely blocked and what that will do to oil. But with the geopolitical conflict, that you and I had a conversation where we talked about helium alone. So apparently Qatar right now, right, produces a third of the world's helium. And I didn't even know about this before this episode.
I didn't know until
I had to look this up. And they produce a third of the world's helium, and there's no viable replacement for helium. And helium is a big part of creating the semiconductors for these chips for AI, right? And you're like, well, what are we gonna do there? What could that in and of itself do to the stock market? Just that.
Oh yeah,
And
you're gonna have prolonged. So crude oil is just below 100 right now. WTI crude. I've been tracking. That's my litmus test for the oil industry. You can look at other types of oil, but that's what I look at, right? So if you get extended periods, so there you go. Yeah, crude oil futures at 97.20. Good job. Good pull, Rajeel. What, are you working a podcast or something?
No, I was just thinking like, must be a great time to be a landman.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen
Such a good show.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem for me is just going into it, that looks like Billy Bob Thornton playing Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, it definitely was made for him.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah. Nothing? What do you do all day?
Yeah. What do I do?
I don't know.
I got jobs. I got families.
I feel like you're that guy listening like Sade. Walking around the house, listening to Sade. And when the kids go to sleep, you pour some tea, you and your wife.
Yeah.
And you look deep into the orbits of her eye sockets and you go, how was your day, baby?
Yeah, that is me.
Play some Barry White.
You know that.
Go upstairs.
Get
a nice hot bath drawn for her.
Yeah.
Let her get out, wash her feet, massage her toes.
Listen to some Nick Hustles.
Yeah. And then right before you go to bed, because you want to feel gangster, Nipsey Hussle.
No. Wait, that was the guy's name, right? Nick Hustles?
You see what I'm dealing with here, Rajeel? There's only so much you can work with.
You know what I'm talking? You don't know what I'm talking about.
Nick Hustles.
Yeah. That was that R&B singer, that soul singer that you and I, is the AI generated one that you and I were listening to?
Oh, yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nick Hustles. Yo, do yourself a favor. Go listen to some Nick Hustles. This is completely AI, by the way, but it's probably some of the greatest songs that I've listened to in the last week.
Honestly,
it's so good.
I'm not going to lie here. I was legitimately enthusiastic when I heard there was an actual playlist of him on Spotify.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah, there's a AI for the culture. Mick Hustles. Let's give you some song titles. You ready, Rajeel? I feel like slapping something I can't say on the show.
It's a good song though.
Yeah.
It is a good show.
Yeah.
I'm letting go of the bullshit.
I love that. Oh, one of my favorites. I'm back on my bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
Stay blessed with my friends, spelled a different way. And God wants me to win.
It's great, honestly. And I know it sounds like we're joking, but I'm telling you, the songs are amazing.
The only song I can actually say the full name of on the show, and I can't talk about his vacation.
A Dope Ass Day?
Yeah, it's the only one. Dope Ass Day. So yeah, anyway, but I love the fact they actually created like an image, an avatar, the whole thing.
Yeah. Because it threw me off at first because I saw the first image, right? And I was like, oh man, this guy, he looks old, but this music, he's saying stuff that's like relatable today. Like this guy was like, he's a I don't know, he could see into the future. And then I pull up the next song. It's a different photo of him. Like, that's not the same guy.
By far and away, my guilty pleasure right now, okay, and I'm ashamed to admit this, is all like the modern songs that have been remade into old school R&B.
Especially the 50 Cent ones.
Oh my God.
They're so good.
Oh yeah, they even have a DMX one too. I was like, the
DMX one was like a soul jazz one.
I haven't heard that.
Oh my God, it was good.
X gonna give it to you.
So I'd be quoting DMX around the house all the time, especially to my son. He'd be like, all the time if he apologized to him, sorry, Dad, won't happen again. Talk is cheap. That's all I tell him. Talk is cheap, son.
I went to high school at Aloe Black, right?
Yeah.
And Nathaniel Dawkins, his real name. I went to high school with him, and he was a rapper, and then he got really popular for like that soul, like rich, beautiful sound, which stunned me because I didn't know he had that.
I Need a Dollar, right? That song?
I Need a Dollar, right? And he did that song, The Vici, which kind of really blew him up, but it just a complete opposite from what I knew him as. But he was always a creative, like good for him. Shout out to him. I would be so pissed off if I were him.
Why?
Because those songs sound like him.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he could do that.
He could do that right now.
Right now, yeah.
But but and he has like the hip hop background to do that. But now you got AI doing it. So if you're him, you're just like, man.
Yeah, that's it. You just took out my whole market.
Yeah. I need a dollar.
Yeah.
Dollar like every day.
Yeah. So just to quickly dive into some of those CPI figures that I talked about, CPI rose to 2.4%, right? And core CPI inflation, which removes food and energy, up to 2.5%.
Which I don't know that we should be removing food and energy right now, because I don't think that energy volatility right now, for the purposes of inflation, is transitory. It's not coming and going. It's not volatile up and down one day. It's going up because we're doing something that is going to be inflationary.
100%, right? And you got to remember that if energy prices spike up, that trickles down. I mean, we've covered it on the show time and time again how it trickles down into every other sector, right? Like you even need diesel to run machinery, large vehicles, agriculture, to transportation, for shipping. The input price goes up. The businesses will pass this rising cost onto the consumers, which we will ultimately pay. The thing that we don't like about CPI is it's not measuring a certain product, month over month over month. What it expects you to do, if a certain product goes up, you're gonna alter your lifestyle and pick a cheaper product. That's not really how this works, because listen to this. Fruits and veggies are up 2.7%. Non-alcoholic beverages, Chris's favorite, up 5.6%.
Hoppy water.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Beef, up 14.4%.
Moo.
What are you going to substitute beef with? You're going to do Impossible meat?
Hell,
that's
you ever seen Impossible Meat? Like,
no.
You ever
no.
Oh my God, it's nasty looking.
Yeah, it's gross.
Rajeel, have you ever eaten Impossible Meat?
Are they still around?
He's for sure tried it, yeah.
Oh, yeah
Are they still around?
Yeah, it's
really?
still around. Trader Joe's has a bunch of them.
See, I told you. I knew it.
He knows. He's plugged in.
No, unlike you, he's cultured and sophisticated.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'm all about Trader Joe's.
Yeah, if it's Sade's playing in the background.
Daycare up 3.7%. Medical care costs 4.1%. Movie tickets 5.5%.
Yo, before I came here today, I gave like a presentation in front of some kids. It was supposed to be about banking, but it was a lot about the podcast and the show.
Kids. Okay, you say kids as if it's elementary, bro. You were at a community college.
All right, I'm going to say something that it's going to sound offensive at first, all right?
I don't want, because this is the episode.
No, I know.
This is the episode that is the one that they're coming to.
You'll hear this. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so I'm just in the classroom. Like, I didn't get a lot of prep. I was asked to do it.
Set the mood a little bit. How big classroom are we talking? Auditorium?
I'll get there. So I was asked to do it by a friend. She's amazing. I love her and her husband. She's like, can you do this? I was like, cool. But I got busy, so I didn't have time to ask any questions. I got like a document saying, hey, prepare for the show with some material. I'm like, I'm not going to go. I'm going raw, right? It's just, What am I gonna come up with like material for like banking, right?
I can't help himself, bro.
I can't help myself.
Yeah.
But no, I got busy and I was doing some AI stuff, and our AI, which I could talk about on the show later if you want to, is up and running. It's pretty cool, although I screwed it up 3 times, and it basically gave me the middle finger every morning, which I can explain later on. It actually called Rajeel before the show.
That's Rajeel before me?
You know, it called my phone and said hi to Rajeel and be careful what the
pretty
production
cool.
is. Anyway, that being said,
Weird.
what? Yeah, it was weird,
It was
right?
weird. The AI said, "Take it easy on me." I was like, "What am I doing with you?"
Yeah, it knows, man. The studio and the Mac Mini, they talk.
Right.
Like, yo, man, he's got some aggressive paws back there. Anyway, so I get there and I show up, and there's like 1,000 kids in this thing. I mean, it's a lot of people, and there's a lot of professionals. There's police officers there, people from Hollywood there, and I don't know whether I'm going to be like, is it the podcast that I'm here for? Or is it banking? So I was banking.
Okay.
So I get in there, and I'm looking around all these kids. In the first class, I thought there was a teacher in the back. Because there's one woman watching me. And there's a woman that came in clearly later on who was a teacher.
Okay.
Right? And then she kept dipping in and out. And I knew she was a teacher, but I thought the woman in the back was a teacher because I'm new there. You don't know me. You don't know what I could say. I could be out, talking about dicks and balls and dicks.
And you were dressed like this.
Yeah.
I was just
Good for
gonna
you.
say, what were you wearing?
Yeah, no, that's...
And next up to the stage is our banker. You're like,
I'm rich!
That's 1,000 new subscribers.
yeah. This is a banker I can get down with.
No, I literally said to them when I started the class, I said, number one, I'm going to take my salary and my comp and all that stuff right now. I'm going to let you know how executive compensation works at large companies. I'm going to tell you straight up how much I earned and when I earned it. I gave them a whole career history of earnings, right?
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty sick. If I was in that class, I'd be like, dude, this guy's keeping it real.
Yeah, there were some dudes who were falling asleep. There were some guys who were clearly raw dogging in the class by trying not to blink and just staring at me. It's like, I know what you're doing, dog. Like, I'm not like these other like squares out here. Like, I know what's up.
Yeah.
Right? And there's people who were like deeply interested.
Good.
Bro, shout out to the 3 kids in the front row who came up, suits, ties, the whole thing,
They were
sat
ready to
down,
go.
ready to go, asking questions, like writing stuff down. I'm
Really?
like, bro, you ain't taking notes on anything I'm saying.
Give me a question. I'll know based on the question if they were plugged in. What was one of the questions?
I talked a little bit about AI, so one want to know about trading and algorithms. I actually gave my email.
Trading and algorithms.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There you go. Okay.
There's one dude in the back was like, oh, can you talk about the algorithms? I'm like, we just became best friends.
Yeah.
But anyways, we had this conversation, but nobody told me that there were also adults that were going to be there that were special needs. And that person in the back wasn't an adult teacher. It was one of the special needs kids who had decided to sit in the class. But I didn't know that. So I kept like calling and trying to engage, and I didn't know. And I'm like, bro, that's something you want to tell somebody before I get there. Like,
a little heads up. Yeah, a little heads up would be nice.
I could have tailored the lecture around like, some of those things. And I probably would have been like, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? I don't know. And I skipped over one of them because I thought it was a teacher. So I didn't include them, which I probably should have included them. Like, I just feel bad,
Yeah, you should feel bad.
But in any event, it was really cool. Like, I didn't have a day like that when I was a kid. Did you?
Not that I can recall, no. And if I did, then it wasn't good enough to stand out. Yeah.
Oh, that was, sounds like even prepped for litigation. You hear that? Not that I can recall.
I cannot recall. Yeah.
I think Jay-Z did it.
Can't recall.
All right, so let's get back into the show a little bit. The unemployment numbers, well, they are completely bullshit. Okay, I'm going to call it what it is. U.S. job numbers, according to the Kobisi letter, have now been revised down in each of the last 13 months. And I would probably bet that almost every single person listening to the show has not actually seen a headline in mainstream media talking about the revisions down. Every month, the last 13 months, over a year, these numbers have been revised down. Nobody talks about it.
And I bet you that none of our listeners, and if you can, please send it to me because I'd like to see it. I want to know the positive job number headlines that people have been seeing that make people feel warm and fuzzy about the jobs market, right? Because we're claiming that unemployment is 4.5% or just a roundabout, right? And that's according to historic numbers. Everyone should be feeling really great about that. But we're getting numbers like this, and how come the Fed isn't worried about what this could mean for the job market moving forward? Because if right now what we're dealing with are these numbers, and by historic standards we're low, which way are we going?
Yeah. So let's be very clear. I don't want to leave anything to speculation. If you adjusted the numbers where they should be, the actual unemployment rate is notably higher. Number one.
Yeah.
Okay. They also changed the way they calculate this about a year ago, which causes a whole different set of questions, right? I think someone is, in fact, playing hide the sausage with the numbers. This is not something at this point in time that is accidental, okay? The numbers are wrong. 1 report revised, 2 reports revised, 13 consecutive reports revised down. Okay, I'm not an idiot. Stop treating me like I'm an idiot.
Yeah, right.
So to make matters worse, U.S. job numbers were revised down by another 4,000 jobs in January, and 65,000 jobs were revised down in December. The number they gave you was 65,000 jobs actually higher. What the fuck? That's not good. This brings the December reading down to 17,000 negative, marking the 5th contraction over the last 9 months. Over the last 9 months, 5 out of those 9, more than 50% of them have been job contractions.
So let me get something right. So the initial numbers that they've been reporting on, more times than not, have been better than what they actually were in the long run.
That's right.
So when a jobs report comes out and it says that jobs have fell by 92,000 this month, and that's the initial number.
It's significantly worse than that.
It's probably way worse than that.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. To your point, if they came out and that's what they admitted to under this if you're using the same math that got you to 13 consecutive months of numbers revised down, the overwhelming probability is that number will also be revised down significantly.
Yeah, exactly. Which then, and that's what I'm most fearful of, right? Yeah. The only headlines we talk about as far as jobs goes are layoffs.
Interesting. I want to drive home the point. I just feel like this is an extra data point that's valuable here. Since January of 2024, there have been downward revisions in 24 out of 25 months. So in only 1 month was there a net revision up in the last year.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, really.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Right. So remember, keep this in mind. In 2022, the rate of unemployment was 3.5%.
Just be clear here. See this little spot right there? That one?
Which one? Oh, yeah.
That little tiny little blip that looks like an accident?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Rajeel, look at making the big pictures. That is the revision up. That little tiny one.
But don't worry, Chris. But don't worry, because you know why? On that last CPI report, it said that wages are growing at a rate of 3.8%, which is higher than the rate of inflation of 2.4%. So wages are now keeping up with inflation, apparently. And we shouldn't be worried.
No, that's cute. So here's the problem is if inflation was 9.1%, okay?
Yeah.
And the cost of living went up by 20%.
Yeah.
This is a compound interest problem. What people don't understand is unless we get deflation, things go down in price.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter if we go up 1% this year and we're under the actual inflation. The compounding interest will make the 9% we already gained on that 1 year, as one example,
right,
even bigger than the percentage number is increasing at a slower cadence.
Right.
But it's a bigger percentage of a bigger percentage.
Yes.
So
exactly.
therein lies the mathematical problem.
It's all compounding, right?
Yeah. So again, the data gets weaponized here and I do this all the time. And I will absolutely 100% admit that this is a problem sometimes. It's easy to look at data and go, oh my God, the numbers are positive. Like, this is great. Like, it's headed in the right direction. And then you go, whoa, what am I talking about here? Right? So a great example of this is, Rajeel, actually go to my X page. And last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I was posting about private equity from Bloomberg terminals, because that's what I do at 2 o'clock in the morning, as I look at Bloomberg terminal printouts. Go down, there's orange and black bars. No, my page. Go to profile. Hit profile there.
On the left.
Far left. There you go. Down. It says profile. Little icon. There you go. There you go.
It is. Good job.
Now scroll down. There'll be black bars and all that fun stuff there.
Right there.
There you go. That one. Click on that one. Okay. So this is an easy and great example of what I'm talking about here. So you look at this and you go, okay, wait a minute. This suggests that profits returned by PE investors are near a 16-year low. But that isn't necessarily true. That's a good headline. It's eye-catching. But it's annual global buyout distributions as a share of net asset value. So if you close this for a second, go back to the actual text here. Private equity investors aren't getting paid. It's not that they're at a 16-year low. It's cash distributions from buyout funds just hit a 16-year low as a percentage of net asset value. So they're worth more, but less of that percentage is coming down. Those nuances, even though it's just a couple different letters here and there and some clarity, those matter.
Right.
So it's easy to misinterpret the data. You really kind of have to pay attention, because people will take advantage of you for sensational headlines if you don't catch that.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person that would take advantage of you. So.
But I know this is about private equity, and I know with the headlines in the market this past week, all the talk has been around private credits. That's
going to be the tail end of the show. We're going to spend a lot of time there, because there's a lot of parts of private credit where, you know how the question is point to the spot on this doll where he touched you. Well, unfortunately, this doll is the banking sector.
Come on, man.
What? No, it's the banking sector, okay? And I want to be honest with you. There's a lot of hands on this doll, okay? And this doll, unfortunately, I know it's a tough analogy, but it's look.
That's a tough one, bro.
I get it. Edit that out of the show, buddy. Look, the private equity sector was supposed to be this clean break from the banks, right? But it's not.
No.
And as much as we like to say that, oh, banks are the good guy now, and they've got rules and regulations, and private equity is the bad guy.
Right, and we'll explain when we get to that part of the show what Chris means by that.
Yeah, it's not the picture you're being told, and there are victims in this. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be us.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next one. It is the real estate segment from, I want to say it was Lance Lambert, was it? I think it was.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Lance.
Lennar Q1 2026 gross margins lowest since 2009. There's going to be a little bit of chart work here. Amongst the public home builders, Lennar has been the most aggressive in using affordability adjustments, i.e. builder incentives, to maintain volumes and take market share, right? They're trying to sell more. Click on that chart. Make it real big. Real nasty big. There you go. All right. So this is a good chart because it has the color coding here. I think the heat map really helps, right? The top portion shows historically strong levels, right? And the bottom portion shows historically weak levels as it relates to just overall sales and percentage, right? So this is Lennar's gross margin, right? If the gross margin drops below about 20%, that's generally weak levels.
Okay.
Right? Their share of profits. We're now at 15.2%. Only 3 times in history before, all around the great financial crisis, 13.8%, 14.3%, and 6.5%, which is the height of the great financial crisis, were they ever below that. Outside of the events leading up to 2007 to 2008, that period of time, their profits have always been above this percentage. Yet another in a litany of detailed information that suggests that we are seeing really, really, really high levels of stress in the market. Think about it. If you're them, how frustrated are you? It's cheaper to buy a new home than an existing home.
Right. That should never be the case.
Never be the case. It makes no sense.
Right.
But that's the market we're in. It doesn't make any sense financially. Yeah, I know you're still trying to get over the example, but
the example was rough. The example was rough. But for companies like Lennar and D.R. Horton, right? They've been controlling. What we've talked about on the show is they've been controlling how much they release out into the market, and that's been kind of like their crutch to get through this process. But now I think it's all getting exposed, and I really don't know what other lever they can pull from here.
Well, Rajeel, do me a favor. And then over here on the right side, there's an additional comment. There you go. Perfect. This is from Lennar's CEO, Stuart Miller. Our strategy has been to actively design around the affordability challenge rather than wait it out. Read between the lines on that one. That's kind of questionable.
Actively design. Okay.
We have focused on prioritizing volume to create durable scale advantages that deliver volume at lower prices and ultimately improve margins. Okay, but here's the problem. You're doing the volume at lower prices, but you're disguising the price change in order to artificially keep the value up by giving incentives. Why don't you just lower the price?
No, well, they can't do that. Then it cuts into their profit margins.
Cuts in their profit margins out of the way.
Yeah.
What they want to do is they want to keep that value up as high as possible. They're artificially manipulating the market.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're doing. To me, that's not good. And yeah, if some people are sophisticated, they look at this. The problem is they know what people are going to see. The headline. The headline's going to say, this is the average home price sold in America. That number is wrong. Bottom line. Now, there's a lot more existing inventory than new inventory, so it's not skewed by like 50%, but it's skewed by maybe 5%.
Yeah.
Maybe 6%. But that number is going down meaningfully. And a lot of these pundits that are housing pundits are like, oh, well, the average home price in America is not going down. Okay, well, yeah, dude. Home builders are taking advantage of that number. They're manipulating the environment. He literally just said what he's doing there. While the broader markets remain challenged in the near term, exacerbated by current events, we are continuing to operate with conviction and clarity. Say what now?
Well, these guys sound like politicians.
They are. The fundamental shortage of housing in America has not been solved. Demand is real, deferred, and building. Okay, notice that he says he's going straight to supply as the issue.
Yeah.
Not home prices are overvalued. Something that you know because you are artificially propping up the value, right?
Yeah.
It's a supply issue, which anecdotally really benefits you.
Right.
Okay? And again,
its entire sector, right?
That's right.
And I mean, even Donald Trump came out and was talking about how I do not want home prices to come down.
That's right.
Right?
He was very clear.
He was very clear. Like, we're going to do whatever we can to keep these home prices right where they are. We just need to find a way to make them more affordable. What?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to force the corporations to pay higher wages? They're not going to do that.
No, and then so to your point, so he's already kind of sidestepped affordability's supply issues driven, but then he goes on to do the classic real estate professional thing here, which again, shout out to my real estate professionals listening to the show. This is not a knock on you. There's just people who like to manipulate that kind of stuff.
Right.
As affordability gradually improves, as rates find a more stable footing, okay, and as the nation begins in earnest to address the regulatory and entitlement barriers that constrain supply, again, it's supply's fault, Lennar is extremely well positioned for long-term growth. But until then, we are building the homes American needs at the prices the market can absorb. Are you? With an operating platform that is continuously improving. Okay, that sounds more like political fodder and spin than it does you owning. How about saying Americans aren't paid enough? Okay. Wages have not kept up with inflation. Interest rates are artificially low for a prolonged period of time. We need to adjust to an environment where rates are higher and home prices are in fact coming down.
Yeah. And they're not. Also, you're right. He's also not getting any help from the 10-year right now.
Oh no, 10-year is getting, as they say in the business, shaboing, boing, boing.
It's sad. It's sad. Hopefully people locked in at 5.99 when they could.
Bro, there's some morning.
What is it? Rajeel, can you Google what the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage is today?
Yeah. Or you can go to CNBC too.
Yeah.
But so I have been programming some automation into the agentic AI that we built. I call him Atlas for the show because the big dude, a statue holding the world in his shoulders.
I would love to find a way to make Mr. Atlas a third co-host.
Actually, for the live show, that's already mapped out.
Yeah.
So the server that we built for the live show will be put onto Atlas's Mac Mini, and then he's going to run the server 24/7. So I've been only running it during the show. He's going to run it 24/7, and then he can change and engage in the show. So on one side of the show, I'm going to pull him up. So this is the 30-year mortgage rate is 6.11%
from St. Louis Fed.
Yeah, St. Louis Fed.
Yeah.
So 6 point, and that's right where it should be. I mean, frankly, given where the treasuries have moved, it's actually a little lower than where it could be. But you saw it go down super, super low in 20. Rajeel's showing the end of the artificial interest rate deflation period and how it's come back up. But again, you're not talking 1980s 17%. You're talking a pretty healthy increase. The average historically.
Yeah, but when everyone cites the 80s, man, it's like that's like, I don't know. You're pointing to a time that we're never going to get back to, right? Because the income to home price ratio was significantly different than what it is now.
Sugar plum. So I've been programming this agentic AI, and I've been trying to get some automation built in. And one of the things I get is in the morning, I get like a market snapshot of the things that I track. WTI crude oil, 10-year, 30-year mortgage, all the major indices, the VIX, and some of the stuff that we normally would track outside of our own show metrics. And then it gives you the top headlines, any data prints that come out for the day versus the forecasted versus actual.
Got it.
But it hard-coded inadvertently the 10-year number from the previous day as like 10 basis points higher. So I woke up this morning thinking the 10-year had lost its mind.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, oh my God, what's going on?
It did that on its own.
Did it on its own because hardcore. I fixed it today.
Yeah.
But building an AI agent is everybody makes it sound so simple on social media. And they're like, oh, look at it running in the background. It's made me all millions of dollars. Dude, there's so much coding that goes into it and like work and like labor.
Yeah.
That it's wildly misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're getting today was a huge leap forward.
Yeah.
Huge leap forward, which I'm very proud of. I know that you're not as excited.
I'm extremely excited. I've wanted to come in early to see it, but unfortunately, my boy got sick.
Yeah. How's he doing, by the way? Is he okay?
He's all right. Yeah.
Dehydration?
I think it was dehydration. Yeah.
Is it because he's playing basketball in the sun, the hot, and heat?
They had a brutal workout yesterday, man, and he did not drink enough water afterwards.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like how hard we push kids, but that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Next post, Nick Gurley via X. Housing affordability collapse. February home sales hit a 17-year low. The chart here make it big and sexy, Rajeel, just like you used to be. Now you're just skinny and sexy. Home sales just dropped to the lowest level since 2009. Yeah. This is home sales for existing home sales, by the way. This is not new home sales. This is existing home sales. So now new home sales selling for less than existing homes. Now, existing home sales are selling way less volume. Lowest level since 2009, 4.09 million. 2009 was 3,970,000.
Do you feel like they can rest on seasonality at all right now?
No.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, you could try, but unfortunately, if you look at the chart here, there were many, many, many years historically where that went up. As a matter of fact, the normal cadence of volume, in my mind, is pretty indicative of cycles.
Mm-hmm.
From 1998 all the way to 2004, you saw a pretty active increase. Then from 2004, you saw the great financial crisis hit, and it went almost straight down until you hit about 2010, where it started to spike back up again. You got a little bit of momentum in 2011. That seemed a little bit down, but incrementally so. And then it effectively went back up from 2010 all the way to the pandemic, and then you've seen it drop down to effectively a straight down number. You're talking pandemic, 6.13 million in home sales.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2022, 5,890,000. Then shortly after that, 4,460,000, 4,310,000, now 4,090,000.
Right. And to take this a step further, this isn't just can people afford, these homes that are listed for sale. People that are even living in the homes are having a difficult time keeping up. So did a little bit of research for the show. What is the financial health of the U.S. consumer right now? Did you know, Christopher?
Oh.
A record share of Americans are taking emergency withdrawals from their 401ks.
I did, although the number wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be.
But according to Vanguard, 6% of people enrolled in 401ks plan made a hardship withdrawal.
Yeah, that's 6%. I know it's record. I know.
Record high. Last year was 5%, so it's only going up in that direction. But this is the part that was alarming to me. Top reasons for the hardship withdrawals: avoiding foreclosure and eviction, 36%.
Damn.
Yeah. If it was something like medical expenses, tuition, something like that, okay, makes sense. And those are categories. But buying a home repairs, but number one on the list, avoiding foreclosure and eviction.
Damn, that's
so that's not painting a good picture,
Ooh.
Right? And on top of that, this is from my favorite, AARP. Right now, 7% of retirees are returning to the workplace due to financial needs. That's a record high too.
All of them wear quarter zips and boat shoes.
As they should.
Yeah.
Hold on, right? 48% of returning retirees say they are unretiring because they need the money.
Yeah, I know a number of people like that right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So yeah, this is not just people that can't afford, like that have been waiting on the sidelines. They've been saving their money, like we really can't make sense of this. No, this is people that are actually in the home. So I don't know. All it's gonna take is for something to crack and break, and I do see a correction. But when or what that's gonna be, I don't know.
You're already seeing it. I mean, this article from Nick Gurley said that home sales has dropped to the lowest level since 2009, down 35% from pandemic peak, and by 25% from pre-pandemic norms. This was the second worst February reading in the last 30 years. Traditional news outlets tried to claim there was a, quote, recovery, end quote, in demand in February of 2026, but that's obviously false. So again, this is an interesting thing where if you go back to 2007, 2008, the great financial crisis, in and around that time, we had social media, but it was still social media. Now we have attention media.
Yeah, it's different.
We've got a lot more population control via headlines. A great example of this is look no further than the war that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
This, in my mind, is the first war where economics are the biggest weapon being utilized.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to cause a recession in this country, and they are trying to cause an economic slowdown worldwide to put pressure on everybody to play the game. And I'm sure there's other wars where the similar types of levers are pulled, but then you also get the element of the news reporting.
Mm-hmm.
And I can legitimately tell you guys that I don't know what's real anymore. How many times have I seen a video of somebody from Iran or like an action in Iran, or I've seen Netanyahu or somebody from Israel or somebody from all places, and then they have six fingers, or there's like glitches in the background, and you're like, wait, what?
What's going on? You don't even know what to trust anymore.
I have no idea.
No idea. Something else that gets affected by the Strait of Hormuz being blocked down, I did not know this actually, was a lot of fertilizer gets shipped through there.
Yeah.
Right? 30% of the U.S.'s fertilizer comes through there. And
there's a lot of shit coming down that pipe.
There's a lot of shit. Yeah, that's a shit joke.
That was a shit joke.
That was a shitty joke.
Yeah.
That was great.
Took too far.
Hold on. Wait, what?
You made it the
I took it
obvious
personal?
old man joke. You just like you can't just leave it where it's at.
Right.
Just-
So, unfortunately, fertilizer is not something that can be stored either. And right now is planting season. Oh, come on. I'm trying to do a show here.
You can't store your shit, people.
You can't store the fertilizer.
It creates toxic fumes.
Right? So, as of right now, the current price of fertilizer for farmers has gone up 77%.
That's some expensive shit.
Wow. Oh,
Can't help yourself.
The maturity
It's
level
gone
of
up
the show has gone down.
77%. What is that going? What is that doing? What is that going to do to food prices? You tell me.
I don't know, but I can tell you it's going to bring down the maturity of the show by 50%.
Easy. Got to keep it light.
It's not so light. It's not light shit. 50%.
Yeah.
50% of the time it works.
I know, but
time.
we're joking about it. But okay, for us,
Who's joking?
well, for us, okay, there's alternatives, but there's other countries around the world that they do not have an alternative. That means famine. You understand me? Like it's currently planting season where they're at now. What are they gonna do? No solution, bro. That's the answer. Well, I don't even know what kind of world we live in anymore. I don't.
Make the world a better place.
What are you doing to make this world a better place? That's my question.
Where's Michael? I need some kind of like charity gala or something where everybody gets together singing. Bring Prince back.
I brought up Michael one time. You said I can't bring that up.
No, you can't. I can't.
Oh,
I've already crossed the line. A way worse joke. Everything I do from that point to now is a recovery. I'm a terrible human being. Oh, he made the hee sound. All right, let's go to the Kabisi letter. U.S. oil reserves. I want to tap on oil for a little bit, and then I'm going to get right into private credit. We've heard a lot about it. I've got a whole breakdown here. I actually didn't put something in the show notes because I want to break that down to you guys live on the show and get some more honest feedback. U.S. oil reserves are set to climb by about 41% to the lowest level since the 1980s after the U.S. abandoned a 172 million barrel release. It's not a good situation. This will drop U.S. oil reserves to about 243.4 million barrels, or just about 34% of total capacity. On top of this, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve must keep about 150 million barrels in place to maintain operational flexibility, which really only leaves about 90 million barrels there. This leaves just about 93 million barrels available to draw, or less than 5 days' worth of the oil supply that naturally passes through the Strait of Hormuz. After the upcoming release, the U.S. oil reserves will be down over 400 million barrels since the Russian-Ukraine war. The U.S. strategic oil buffer is rapidly disappearing. Rajeel's got a chart for that. You want to click that and make it real nice and big? Yeah, that's the lowest level since the 1980s, kid. And it's only going to go one direction. You got oil facilities in the Middle East that are down. You got a Strait of Hormuz, which we cannot traverse, at least right now. Even insurance companies are like, yeah, I don't think we're going to get an escort through that anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's really what it boils down to. Forget the mines that are being placed out there. You're not getting, no insurance companies coming close to that.
No, why would you want to? And here's the problem with insurance, and most people are in kind of denial about this, but let's be clear. Everybody likes the idea of insurance. No matter what happens, I'm going to be insured. Except here's the practical problem, right? You ever dealt with an insurance company?
Yeah.
They suck.
It's really difficult.
It's difficult. Can you imagine your ship gets bombed and you got to wait 6 months to a year before you get paid out? And even then, what's this new government-backed insurance? How am I getting paid off that? We don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of confidence here, Chief.
Yeah, I need it now.
No. I want some guarantees.
Yeah.
Put it in writing. Oh, the U.S. government's backing it? Not feeling really comfortable about that guarantee right now.
Right. Yeah.
You got a little thing called a national debt problem.
That's a big problem.
But we're all going to sidestep it and go, you know what? Hey, guys, the U.S. is going to guarantee me payment. Matter of fact, their Navy's gonna escort our ships through. I'm sorry, against the underwater mines?
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, how you planning on doing that? Matter of fact, your Navy just said, we're not ready to do it yet. You want to know why? Because there's underwater mines.
Bro, who's...
Have you seen what these mines look like? They're not like the big balls like in The Hunt for the Red October.
No.
They're like missiles
with
a little propeller on the back that they can control with AI and remotes. They're like, think about them as like underwater shark mines.
Yeah.
Like they shot the mind of a shark and then taught it to attack boats. That's what we're dealing with.
A red shell from Mario Kart.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Such a PG example. Why can't you go back to the doll example like I used in
No. we got away from the doll.
I know. Yeah, that's not what the mines look like. That's your old school mines. They chain into the bottom. And they got little like probes in the top, and you ramp something into the probe, and there you go.
National average for a gallon of gas right now in the U.S. $3.58. That's cute.
What is it up? 30 cents? 35 cents?
Up 16% year over year.
That's what, 35 cents?
Yeah. Yeah. A week ago, it was $3.20. A month ago, $2.94.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
See, I can do math every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's a problem, and not a problem that's going away anytime soon. Of course, this all puts pressure on the bond market. Long-term duration of the bonds market has pushed up. You got 10-year, which is creeping up to a pretty crazy amount. Rajeel, go to CNBC, go to the bonds portion of the tab, see what the 10-year's at today. I haven't had the time to check because I've been in school with kids all day.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I've been learning stuff.
Giving back to the community.
There are bonds at the top left there. Bottom,
right
down. There you go. Oh, clicking. Oh, so good. Oh, the top left one.
Yep.
The green box.
4.283.
Click on that. 4.283. That's a positive day, kids. That is a big bump. And if you go on the chart here and click the 1 day on the top on the left of the chart there you go. Now click this arrow right there, expanding it. The big one. No. There you go. That one. Perfect. Yep. That's a 1 day chart. That went up.
Wow.
That went up a lot. And you can check on a chart like this. I don't have to know. Right there where Rajeel's at, where it bottomed out, something happened at around that time today, which caused concerns. Yeah. And that's how rapid stuff responds.
Yeah.
Of course, there's an interesting play here. If you ever want to get into algorithmic trading and you want to nerd out on this stuff, you get access to data faster than most people. There's a feedback loop. The way this works is data comes out, headlines get the data, the headlines report the data, those headlines get to social media takes that, spins it around, you see it on social media, hysteria or behavioral economics play out. But if you have access to the data direct and you cut all the middlemen out,
right,
you have at least 30 seconds to a minute with which to trade on data that nobody else has.
Yeah.
And that's the power of data and agentic AI in this world. Everybody can have access to a hedge fund. Man, I'm hard selling over here. You want to buy in?
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to invest in this thing.
Like Bitcoin?
Like Bitcoin.
You're
20%.
Not.
20%. And most of it's going to the QQQ.
The QA.
The QA. Shout out to my
All right. Yeah. So subprime private credit is a big problem. The post-2008 hunt for yield, fueled by zero rates, QE, and suppressed volatility, created a multi-trillion-dollar private credit market. The credit that banks could not or would not do, considered to be too risky. They often got paid higher interest rates because they were willing to make a loan you couldn't get somewhere else, right? Different structure, same dependency, unfortunately. Like the subprime 2007-2008, the model assumes stable cash flows and perpetual refinancing. But in this particular market, perpetual refinancing doesn't seem likely, and cash flows have been impacted.
Okay.
A lot in some businesses, right? So the spoiler here, the consumer is already cracking, and if the consumer cracks, refinancing stops. And when refinancing stops, leverage turns to fragility, which is why you're seeing all the headline risks. But I made this chart. It's a sexy chart. Would you make it big?
Boom.
Oh, so big.
Yeah.
Subprime versus the private credit markets. And I went down a little trip down memory lane. This was very cathartic for me. Okay, very enriching to my soul. I did this one at 1 o'clock in the morning.
SAT vocabulary.
Yeah, but market size of the subprime credit crisis, $1.3 trillion. Market size of the private credit market, over $2 trillion.
I think that's more. Yeah.
Your math skills are good here. They're sharp. I like that. The fuel for the subprime crisis was the housing bubble, synthetic mortgage-backed securities.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that was an interesting set of circumstances. In this one, it's chasing yield.
Yeah.
Chasing money.
Yeah.
The dollar bills, y'all. Borrower, over-leveraged homeowners in the subprime crisis. Well, the borrower, private equity-owned companies. In the...
more greed.
Yeah, private credit markets. Oh, I feel so bad for them. You can imagine how badly.
How bad do you feel for them?
I feel a deep swell of a fortress of solitude for them. You see what I did there?
I didn't.
Yeah, okay. All right, the structure, CDOs, right? The subprime crisis, don't know what they are. Direct lending funds is the structure in the private credit world. Risk location back then was banks. Risk location is the shadow banking system. You're going to hear that a lot in the news as this private credit market continues to deteriorate. Why do they call it shadow banking practices?
Yeah, why is that?
Because there's a problem here. This is the doll joke that I was making that they did not hit, and I apologize for it in retrospect.
Yeah.
Probably could have done better.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a good example for someone being taken advantage of.
It's a very dark and gloomy show.
It's a dark
grim.
show. It's grim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't make it better.
No.
All right. Anyway, so public pricing versus opaque NAV marks, which meant that the subprime credit was more visible because everybody could see the numbers. Whereas in this one, the opaque net asset value marks in the private credit marks mean that there could be a whole lot of hiding numbers.
Okay.
Right? It can be manipulated. The loss recognition was immediate in the subprime crisis, whereas in the private credit markets, because you had that manipulation of the NAV figures and the values of these private credit vehicles, that recognition has clearly been delayed.
Right.
Mortgage defaults were the warning sign. Well, non-accruals, people who are not paying their debt obligations or behind on it, payment defaults, those are the warning signs that we're already seeing in the private credit market. Rising home prices were the part of the problem in the subprime market, whereas now it's perpetual refinancing. Except just like the rising home prices where they go up and they go down, perpetual refinancing stops.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing that.
So to understand the private credit market a little bit, we'll break it down just as simple as we can, right? You got to think of it as if you as a person wanted to get a loan from a bank, you would go to the bank, they get your credit score, they look at your history, how much cash do you have, and you know, how much income do you make, and then they give you a loan. Okay, boom. Now let's take it a step further. You got a company that makes a couple $100 million, right? And they can't go to the bank to get the loan because they're regulated, and based on, you know, the cash flow that you currently make right now, you're probably operating at a cash flow negative, but you have all these plans for the future. And unfortunately, the regulators would not allow the bank to make such loan, right? Because of everything that happened in '08. Okay.
That's right.
So, and they can't go out to, the stock market and raise money that way because no one's going to invest their money and they can't grow it that way. So what do? They got to go to these private credits, right? There's a lot of companies out there. Do yourself a favor and knock yourself out and Google them, right? They're going to give you the loan.
But there's a problem with that, though.
Why is there a problem? So it's like, okay, now why is it a problem for private credits? Because you know who's in bed with private credits? Big banks.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, 87% of the debt in the private credit market, right?
Top 5 biggest ones too, I think. Let me guess. Wells.
Wells is number 1.
B of A.
B of A is number 2.
Let me go Citigroup.
PNC, actually.
PNC is number 3.
Then Citigroup.
Then number 5 will round out JP Morgan Chase.
That's right. Yeah.
Too big to fail, as I would like to say.
Yeah, too big to fail. So what do? They took that failure and offloaded that risk to the private credit funds. So they have a percentage of debt here, but big banks are rushing to downgrade the private credit risk. Why? Because big banks hold about 87% of the loans to the private credit funds themselves. So the structure looks like this: banks, private credit funds, then the companies.
Right.
Which is why it's really shadow banking.
And why this is so bad for everybody else. You literally have 401ks, pension funds that are invested into these private credit companies, right? And guess what they're doing now? Just like, what was it, Bear Stearns back in '08? They're not letting you take out your money.
Yeah. They're stopping the, quote, redemptions from happening.
Redemption, right.
Because they usually cap redemptions at about 5%, some are 8%, but they're seeing redemptions of 14%, even higher in some cases. People saying, I want my money back. This is tantamount to a run on deposits of a bank, for example. Right? These will cause these funds to effectively shut down at some point in time. And the banks have to figure out their leverage positions in all of this. So that's why you're seeing some things happen. So I'm going to lay out, to end the show here, at least on this part of the information here, I'm going to lay out a series of events, which it wasn't in the show notes on purpose because I'm going to lay it out for you guys. Okay. This is the series of events that is now unfolded. We've heard about private credit and the stress in these markets for a prolonged period of time. But this, in the last 2 weeks, here you go. Ready? JP Morgan Chase just marked down its private credit loans and restricted lending to private credit funds. They are one of the top 5 lenders in this space, and they've marked some of those assets down, saying that we know we're going to take an economic loss on these, so we're going to take that economic loss now, put it in a reserve for potential losses against the fund.
Okay, and that gets reported in their earnings, right?
It's just reported in the earnings. They put out a statement to that effect. It's very visible, okay? Number 2, Morgan Stanley says it's now blocking redemptions of its own private credit fund after withdrawals surged. So now Morgan Stanley has said, hey, no more redemptions, and we're not giving you any more. Can you imagine going to a bank saying, hey, I want to withdraw my money because you're having a run on deposits, and they go, you know what? We're not giving it to you.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
You'll never get this. La, 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 la.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I read another stat on this too, on the article that I was reading, was like 40% of the loans in this private credit space were made to companies that were, at the time the loan was made, they were operating at a cash flow negative.
I heard something similar, but I haven't verified it. So, grain of salt there.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, upside potential, baby.
Yeah.
You know? Upside. Number 3, Cliff Waters private credit fund redemptions just hit 14%. Partners Group says defaults could double from here, right? Fitch Moody's and Fitch, the rating agency, says that U.S. private credit defaults hit 9.2%, the highest ever recorded. That's 3 of the biggest banks in the world pulling back from the same market in the same week. Okay? Now, should we put it all together?
Yeah.
All right. Number 6, private credit funds borrowed from banks to lend to companies. Banks are now cutting them off. That's a problem.
Because what? They had to come up for renewal.
Well, banks have to rate their debt.
Right.
And if there's additional risk in your debt, then guess what they have to do? They have to, and again, so some of these banks have blocked making further loans, and then they have taken the assets they have in the books. Let's say I have you a loan to you for $5 million. They're saying that loan is now worth $4 million.
Yeah.
So that $1 million goes to my additional loss reserve from an accounting perspective because I'm expecting to take a logical loss there. And this is not just my opinion going, 1 million. You actually do you do an analysis to see what your potential loss is.
There's a full breakdown model.
And if banks are doing this, it's not because they want to recognize losses. It's because they feel there are real mathematically calculated losses on the horizon for them.
Yeah, and you have to show that you were ahead of the game on this.
That's right. Because if you're reactive versus proactive, it's a problem.
That's going to be a much bigger problem.
Yeah. They're going to say you weren't actively monitoring your portfolio. And a lot of these loans should be monitored quarterly.
Right.
So then the next step of the process, those funds can't refinance. Redemptions accelerate. You can't refinance the debt with another lender. You've been cut off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to go somewhere else and refinance with another lender, but a lot of lenders are blocking this and stopping this. These are not attractive loans anymore. This is the highest risk category in the market right now. Why would I want to do this?
Right.
So now you're going, okay, what do I do? Well, you're now forced to sell assets in your portfolio to pay back the redemptions. The same way banks during the great financial crisis and other crises, you got to run on deposits. Mm-hmm. They can't give you any more deposits because they don't have any more. They have to sell off loans. In some cases, loans at an economic loss. Mm-hmm. And that economic loss they have to take in order to give you your cash back.
Right.
No different.
Right.
All right. Number 8, the companies that borrowed from private credit, tech startups, software firms, mid-market companies, they can't refinance either.
Right. Where are they going to go? Who's going to give it to them?
To your point, now this whole sector of people who were willing to make loans to companies that were riskier are no longer willing to make loans to companies that are riskier. The same way during the great financial crisis, they were willing to make riskier single-family residence loans because home values only went up, right? You've had 15-ish plus years of artificial interest rate deflation, and because of that, everybody thought they were an entrepreneur. Everybody thought they were going to make a ton of money, and there was no disruption to that process. If you were good and you were there and you were alive and breathing, you had a good shot at making more money.
Right.
And guess what? That persisted for a prolonged period of time because the cost of borrowing was almost nothing. Mm-hmm. So as long as you made enough money to pay back your almost nothing interest, you were good.
Yeah.
Well, that's gone now. And these companies can't refinance, and their cost, which is usually index plus margin base of their loans, even if their balance was the same on their debt positions, is going up to pay.
Yeah.
So there's a problem right there. Okay, number 9, defaults cascade. Not just 9.2%. We're talking about 15 to 20% likely by Q3 or Q4 this year. Maybe even sooner. And that's a huge problem that no one's talking about.
Right. And back to the point that I made earlier, the reason why you need to care about this is because it will impact everyday people because their 401ks and their pension funds and so much money is invested into these companies, into these private credit companies.
So to make a grim show even more grim.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I know we joke about maybe a grim show, a gloomy show.
Oh, I had a darker ending to that.
It's the truth, and people deserve to know the truth at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. This is real. This is happening. It's not opinion. We had one problem, CDOs in the mortgage-backed security market, which is really derivatively one problem.
We
You had one problem.
You.
Yeah. In 2008, right? The great financial crisis. This one has a private credit implosion clearly happening, a war shutting down the global economy. You're talking like 20% of the world's oil supply now in jeopardy. Crude oil spiking, 10-year spiking, lots of volatility all over the place. And now you got a bond market because of that volatility, which can't absorb this shock.
Right.
Working against unemployment numbers, which are clearly artificially inflated. They're wrong.
Cooked, bro.
Yeah, not good. And then you got other problems, okay? Housing affordability crisis, this whole situation at the FOMC, and you've got an active war going on where, in part, they are trying to wage economic war with the United States.
Which we still don't understand why we're even there.
There's a lot of problems here. And hopefully that overshadows my inappropriate comments from earlier.
Just gloss over. Yeah, man.
Rajeel, I'm sorry. Did
I had more dark and gloomy statistics, but I feel like that's enough.
You don't want to hit him with some negative?
No, delinquencies are up, bro.
Yeah, across the board.
Across all all loan types.
It's to the
and
point
not
now where I
not
don't
just
wanna
30 days,
see it.
serious delinquency, 90 day plus.
I don't want to see it anymore. I go out of my way not to even read a report on those headlines anymore because it's just like this nasty cycle. It's not getting any better.
It's bad.
It's been like a full year of like progressively worse defaults, and everyone's like, "We're fine. The market is good. We're so amazing out here."
Yeah. Unemployment is low.
I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
Wages are outpacing inflation.
Yeah.
We got inflation under control, 2.4%. We're good.
I'm at the point now where this is the true story from this morning. I went to Starbucks, and I'm sitting down, and I'm waiting for my order, and I'm watching this dude in a brand new Ferrari roll by. He goes right by, and I'm sitting there going like, "Damn, fuck that guy." Right? And then I'm like, "Oh, don't get mad, Chris. He's probably gonna be broke in a month."
It's so bad.
And I know there's probably a 50% chance of that.
And what's crazy is there's some people that are really they're so out of touch because maybe it will impact them, maybe it won't impact them, maybe they do well elsewhere. I had a guy approach me recently and was like, "Hey man, I've been trying to get my son on a couple club teams, and like unfortunately all the spots are full. I was thinking about financing one. Will you coach it? I'll pay you."
Wait, what?
Yeah, he wants to pay me and finance the whole team, so no one has to pay anything. He's like, "I'll pay you," and I'm telling this guy like, "What the hell? Like, why? That's a lot of money, bro. Like, we can have the conversation if you want, and we'll go outside. I mean, he's just daily driver McLaren. We can't even have the. I can't. What are we doing?
Also hard.
I'm gonna be the snobby guy. I don't like McLarens, okay?
I don't think he does either.
I'm not impressed. Okay, bro, you're driving a Toyota. I said it.
No.
It's a Toyota.
It's not.
That's what it is. To me, it's Toyota. I'm not impressed.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. McLarens, and I got a lot of friends who have them, and I guess they're cool. I'm angry. I can't fit in them.
Oh, that's what it is.
I can't fit it. I can fit in some Ferraris. I can barely get into like a Lamborghini. I cannot fit in a McLaren.
Yeah.
They are heightest bastards.
Yeah.
It's not appropriate.
He was like, "Bro, you want to sit inside of it?" I'm like, "Bro, don't treat me like a kid. Like, come on."
You want to take a picture inside of it?
Yeah, that's what he said to me. Honestly, he's like, "You want to sit inside? You want to take?" I was like, "Bro, come on, relax."
That's the biggest head pat you
I'm
can
like,
get.
"Yo, can you chill?" I got pride, bro.
I can't wait. Somebody's like, "Hey, Chris, you like your ribbon? Yeah, you want to take a photo inside of it? I'll take a photo of you."
It's cute. You look cute. Come on, sit down.
Meanwhile, Rajeel and I here like, "Yo, you catch me too this week? Yeah, me too."
Meanwhile, Adam is sitting next to me. He's like, "Yeah, Dad, come on, Dad." I'm like, "Adam, no, stop, relax. You can go."
Yeah, scratch it, son.
Yeah, right. No, they were trying to they were like peeling at like some of the stickers or whatever around the car, and you're like, "Stop, man!" Like, he's like, "No, it's okay. This is my daily driver." Damn.
One of the articles I was reading last night, because again I don't sleep much, it was about all the custom Ferraris they've made over the years.
Yeah,
they've made like one-off, like hyper custom cars for like avid collectors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how much money do you have to have? We're like,
that's a different market, man.
You're like, "Hey, babe, yeah, I'm gonna buy a Ferrari that nobody else in the world has, and we're gonna design it on ourselves." How much do you think that's gonna cost? I don't know, like $5-6 million.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me know when it gets here.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Is that where we're at now?
That's what it's like. Oh, some people are just out of touch, man. Out of touch.
You got anything positive to say?
I got nothing positive today, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ramadan's gonna be over in a week. That's positive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's up? We celebrating Eid. That's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful weather outside. We're all here.
Beautiful,
today,
dog. Yeah, it's
hot as hell,
90
man.
degrees, bro.
What
What you talking about?
He lost all his weight. Everything feels cool.
Yeah,
to him.
you don't mind being hot now.
He's like, the insulation's gone. The polar bear is free.
Yeah, this guy. Those are subtle flexes.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got? You got anything?
Saied, I remember I used to wear sweaters.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty much useless today. I wouldn't trust me making free comments at this point in time.
No. Rajeel, you got anything?
Yeah, dude, the sun's out.
What do you got planned after this?
Oh, let's see. I did my 9 to 5. We did this.
Oh, you got to leave, dude. You got to go to work.
I got my 5 to 9.
Oh, he's got his 5 to 9. He's got to
Hustle hard.
Call it a wrap, Saied.
Let's wrap it up right now.
Take us out. Let's go. Give me.
Hold on. If you're still listening to the show, do us a favor. Go ahead and leave us an honest 5-star review. Best thing you can do for the show is refer this out to a family or a friend.
A family?
Yeah, a family member or a friend. And we really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Good night, everybody.
Okay. Goodbye.